Hello, welcome to Neighborhood News. I'm Susan Sedensky from the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center, and with me today is Barbara Currier, Senior Center Director. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about the happenings of the Senior Center, which is a part of the PNC. Barb, why don't we talk about some of the exercise programs that we have at the PNC?
Typically, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have a Zumba class. Zumba, it's very active. The music is great. It may not be for everybody, but you can go at your own pace, and as long as you're moving, you're getting some benefit from it. Also on Tuesday mornings, there's a strength and balance class, and a lot of that is using resistance and doing exercises in the seat, which is great for somebody who's not quite as up to Zumba. The other class that not quite as busy as Zumba, but the line dancing class usually meets for about an hour and a half. They take a break in between. And you're still getting quite a bit of movement, but you're getting it sometimes slower than others because you're doing a lot of step work.
So if someone were to join the line dancing class, for example, and they've never done a class like that, are there a lot of people who might stop in and just try it out, or?
Any of our classes you can try the first time and see if you like it or not before registering.
Good.
But especially with the line dancing class, Carol goes over the steps from other dances that they've done, and she's very good about, they walk it out a couple of times and then they put it to music. And that's a very social group, so even if you end up facing your neighbor instead of looking at the back of them, you're still going to enjoy it.
And because most people will say, I've been there before. I know what it's like to make a mistake.
And the music is anything from Irish music to Frank Sinatra to hip-hop. Carol's got a wide range of music that they all enjoy.
And speaking of Irish music, they do have a St. Patrick's Day event that they do every year where they have an opportunity to go and dance, right?
Yep, it's up at the AquaTurf Club in Southington, Connecticut. And it's one of those facilities that has a live dance floor, and the band is amazing. It's got like 9 or 10 pieces, and the food is good. We couldn't complain about anything when we go to this event. And our line dancers are out there. They start practicing and get their steps together. And they go out there and they have a blast. That's great.
That's great. So what about Tai Chi? What's that class like?
Tai Chi is in the afternoon, and it's a very quiet class. It's very structured as to how you perform the steps of the class, but it appears to be very relaxing, but you have to like think it through because every stage of the step has a meaning. And Julie Oliver is excellent at teaching the class.
I've actually heard great things about that class. There are a lot of new participants in that class, so it actually is a good one if you've never done anything like Tai Chi or karate. This would be a good chance to try it because there are a lot of new participants right now.
Exactly, and it's more about stretching and your body discipline in the same position versus like Zumba is very active. This is something you got to kind of put your mind and your body together.
Okay, so those are a few exercise classes that you have. Do you have anything cultural?
We do. We have a very exciting painting class on Monday afternoons, and that class has gotten so big that we're at 20 to 22 participants at times.
Well, it is in a big room, right? So we're able to have actually a very big class in there. What folks tend to like about that class is that there's a lot of light because we have so many windows around there. So that, I think there's a reason why it's so popular. One is the room is beautiful, but you can see right there that's Lucille Silvidio, who is a retired Westerly High School art teacher, and I think she's another reason why everyone loves that class.
Right, absolutely. And that class is for anyone. It's a mixed medium class, so you can be acrylics or oils or water, and you don't have to be the artist to come in and paint. You can start with something. A lot of them take a copy of something and then they paint it themselves, and Lucille is very good about helping with technique. And you can be a beginner and still do quite well and enjoy it. And once a year, we have the opportunity to showcase their work in the Westerly Cooperative Gallery, which has recently moved to the old train station in Westerly.
Right here. Okay, here it is, right here.
That's last year's. And the cool part about it is we will participate at the same time the gallery has a new showing.
Yeah, and now look at this painting. Like
Yep,
that's
there's a
just
sample.
beautiful. Someone did that. I remember
That's Anna Nicholson, I'm pretty sure.
She did that for her daughter or son.
Yep.
It was their house. And what a beautiful gift to give your child. And here's another one by a different artist. And they're all very varied. We just brought 2 to show, but
everything. Yeah, last year we had everything from those beautiful feathers to portraits to. It's amazing the talent in that room. It's crazy. And Anna Nicholson, one of the artists, she actually enters a lot of her paintings in some of the local fairs, and she's always coming home with at least a blue or a first or second place ribbon. She's brought them in. She's very proud of that fact, and they're amazing paintings.
And what else? What another interesting point to this class is the age range. You have people who are from 60 to 90s.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And well, it's just amazing to me that, because I can't make a stick person come out straight. But the talent that's down there, and they've kind of become a very social group as far as, oh, well, maybe you might want to try this, or oh, that looks really nice. So again, it's you're learning, you're participating, and you're also socializing and getting, to know each other better.
And what you're saying about the talent, that shouldn't dissuade anyone from joining, because honestly, everyone didn't start at that level that we're looking at right now.
Everybody started with a blank canvas and not quite sure how to do it.
Right, right.
And no, it's a great, it meets a lot of needs for people.
So you have the painting class, and you also have a very interesting writing class.
Dave Madden is an amazing, he's a retired teacher, and he has what he talks about life stories as the subject matter. And each week he prompts his group, and that group has grown very large as well. And it's kind of like a thought-provoking prompt. Like, I couldn't even tell you what one of them was, but he will come up and then they will write about it in the following class. They all read their answers or their essays, and then they talk about it. And again, it's a great way for that group. They get to know each other on a different level.
Well, it's kind of 2 points. On when you get a prompt, it makes you reflect on your life. I remember I took one of those writing classes, not Dave's, but it was a creative writing class of life stories. And one was, have you ever saved anyone? And then you had a minute to, to think about that. Now think about that, Barbara. Did you ever save anyone?
I did.
You did?
Scary enough. Yes, 2 different times.
This was not planned. Okay. Do you want to tell the story? Do you want to tell the story on television?
Well, we got caught in a riptide in Florida, and if anybody's been caught in a riptide, it's pretty scary.
Yes.
And at the time, I do swim fairly well, and I never been in a riptide, but my stepsons were involved, and I dragged one of them to shore.
Well, that's so interesting, because that was my story. I had saved someone too, and I was only 11, and the girl I was swimming with in an above-ground pool was also 11, and through various circumstances, she almost drowned. But it made me realize that you really should never swim alone. I mean, people say that, and you say, oh, I'm in 4 feet of water. But I thought that was great, because I loved the prompts, because it made you think of things you had never thought about before. So that's one thing. But the second value of those classes is it really forms friendships, because when you're sharing your life story like that, you become closer to people.
Yeah, it's a very, the group itself is very close, and they support each other. Oh, I'll pick you up.
Right.
And I think most of our participants, you see these people sometimes once and twice a week, and it's the class is important, but the bonding, the friendships, you meet grandkids, you run into people, because it's a small area, so you tend to run into people at events, and it's a whole new set of friends at a different age group.
So now, talking about friendships, upstairs in the senior center, we have our lunchroom, as we call it, and so we have lunch Monday through Wednesday. And sometimes it's a chance where old friends meet each other. We've had situations where people haven't seen each other since grammar school, and suddenly they're octarians who are now seeing each other again. Other times you're meeting new friends. But what's it like if you decide to go to our lunches?
It's interesting at best. It's everybody, different walks of life, different ages. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the TVCCA provides a really nice congregate meal. They were $3 donation, and if you don't have the $3, that's okay too. But it's a well-balanced meal, and they're very good. And you know, it's a way for people to come and visit. And some of them live in senior housing, so they don't get out a whole heck of a lot. And it's a way to just come out and visit. And we have a lot of parties.
We do.
We're moving into our busiest holiday season. We've got Halloween coming up, and then right behind that is Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. So the next 3 months, there'll definitely be at least one party. Sometimes we might have an impromptu party.
And what's really nice about our lunch area is that the room is transformed by you, Barbara. You do a very nice job.
Thank you.
It goes from like completely Halloween to completely Thanksgiving and then Christmas. And we always have the traditional foods that we would expect from different holidays. And I think that that's just a wonderful way to celebrate the changes of seasons and the changes in our life. I mentioned when I first started working at the PNC, and it was Valentine's Day, and everyone came in all wearing red and wearing hearts, and it reminded me just of grammar school and how fun it was to be celebrating Valentine's Day that way.
It's stress-free.
Yes, it is.
You know,
yeah,
and a lot of our decorations and stuff have been brought in by these seniors. So it's like, oh, well, I'm downsizing a little bit, so we may have, you know, wreaths or stockings or something, and it's important for them to bring it to their second home, basically, because they spend a lot of time there and they're very proud of it. And no, the holidays, we definitely have a good time.
So in addition to the parties, you often have speakers that talk about some serious matters.
Just this past week, we had a nutritionist. Andrea Dede comes in from TVCCA, and she, as a nutritionist, is great. She'll tell you, you can eat a potato chip once in a while. You know, she's very down to earth, very realistic, and she's very good at answering their questions. Because, you know, is this, if I'm on a low sodium diet, is such and such low sodium enough? So she interacts with them. It's not just come in and be a speaker. It's, you know, a couple of highlights, a couple of topics, and then she'll interact with them. We also had, for the first time, Select Physical Therapy has opened an office near us. And one of their physical therapists came in, and she's going to come in monthly. And the interesting part, again, was she was very interactive with each of the participants. And somebody's cane wasn't the right height. And after the, you know, a couple little exercises of an adjustment here or there, she's like, oh, this is so much more comfortable. So those are the things that are no cost, and it's just something that we're happy to do to make things a little bit better here and there.
So we also have a wellness clinic and a foot clinic, which are available at no cost. The VNA supplies those, the nurses that would be there. Can you tell us what a foot clinic is?
The foot clinic is basically, as you get older, it's kind of tougher to get those toenails trimmed as easily. And, you know, sometimes with calluses or whatever. So the nurse that comes in, you soak your feet for a while, and then she goes over them and trims them nice and neatly for you, and files them all down, and she's kind of like a little foot massage, because she has like, you know, nice soft cream, and then she'll put you in a clean pair of white socks, and it's kind of relaxing at the same time, and she knows her people very well, so you know, there's a lot of conversation going on.
So that's almost like a wellness clinic as well, because when you're talking about your feet, you're really talking about your whole body. So, and we're having a flu clinic, I believe, this month. Is that right?
The flu clinic, I'm going to have to cheat and use my dates here.
Okay. It's in October, and it's held at the PNC.
Yep, we actually have 2 flu clinics this year. The Visiting Nurse Association of Southeastern Connecticut, who we've partnered with before, is on Monday, October 21st from 11 to 1. And this year, Walgreens, which is down the street from us in Pawcatuck, is going to do a flu clinic on Tuesday, October 29th from 10 to 12. So if you missed the first one, there's an opportunity to go for the second one.
So you just have to come in to the PNC and you can get your flu shot.
Yep, typically, you know, your insurance cards and, you know, whatever your insurance card is, you need to bring that with you. But it's pretty quick in and out, and they don't do the pneumonia shot, and they do the standard flu shot. So if somebody recommends that you get the more advanced flu shot, they're not able to do that. But it's just a most people get the regular everyday flu shot.
Okay, so you've mentioned partnerships that the PNC does with places like VNA and Thames Valley, TVCCA. We also partner with the Y. We had an outing at Camp Pawcatuck the other day, and we're having a few more outings where you can either come with our van or you could drive yourself. And we're going to Clyde Cider Mill.
October 16th.
Okay.
And TVCCA, again, who provides our lunches, we went to Camp Pawcatuck and they provided a really nice little bag lunch.
Okay, okay.
So what we ended up doing there is we ate out on the porch, and we're going to do the same thing at Clyde's. They have a picnic area. And last year I went and I got them the apple cider donuts and the apple cider. This year they want to go get their own.
Okay,
so we're going to have
good.
a picnic
Nice,
lunch,
nice,
and they can do some shopping at the cider mill. And again, a lot of these folks don't have transportation. They don't drive, so
Right.
we're going to take them there.
So there's really two groups of people. There's some people who might take the van. There's some people who might meet us there at the event. Since we're talking about the van, why don't we talk about that a little bit? The PNC has a transportation program where we provide free rides. You just have to be over age 60 and residing in Stonington or North Stonington or Westerly, Rhode Island. And we'll go shopping, we'll bring you back to the PNC, or we'll bring you to a medical appointment, physical therapy, hospital visits. But Barbara, why don't you talk a little bit about the shopping that we do?
It's interestingly enough because we all take grocery shopping for granted, but to a senior who has nothing else to do that week, or to a senior whose sister took him shopping all the time and took the stuff out of his basket, the first time he went shopping with us, he called me and he said, "Oh, it was great." And I'm like, "You went grocery shopping?" He said, "I didn't have to fight with my sister because I got to buy ice cream." And it hit home how important the independence is. And that's one of the things our transportation, as far as shopping, not only is it shopping, it's the pharmacy that you may go to there, or the bank that you may go to is at that particular grocery store. And then if you're on the bus long enough, you start to listen to the camaraderie between the shoppers. It's not just about the shopping. It's about getting out of the house on that Thursday or Friday morning and hanging out and talking to other people on the bus.
And it's really, the transportation program has really been a lifeline for a lot of people who would not be able to get food or their medical needs met. But for the van, and also we do also drive people to like PACE, which is adult daycare, and that helps families who are worried about a loved one who can't be alone.
And that's one of the biggest things about the transportation program is these seniors are being able to be independent. They don't have to do it around their daughter's schedule. And one of my favorites was, I don't have to move because you can take me to the pharmacy, the doctor's office, get groceries. So one woman was able to stay in her home, in her neighborhood that she's lived in for years, but once she had to give up driving, her daughter was like, "Well, you're going to have to live with me because how you got in place?" And she said, "Well, the PNC will take me." And we do. And you know, it prompts the independence and the dignity and we let them stay in their environment, that they're comfortable.
So the final group of seniors who we couldn't survive without are our volunteers, because I think that we're the only senior center that is attached to a social agency that I'm aware of, and we could not exist without our seniors who help us run that program. So every month we have at least 100 volunteers who come and work in our food pantry, in our pet shop where folks get free pet food, in our daily hygiene closet, keeping babies warm and well, and our new thrift store, as well as the front desk. So we have 100 regulars, but we actually have 300 every year because when the holidays come around, we are putting together our boxes of Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday food that we deliver and have people pick up. Do you want to talk a little bit about the holiday program?
The holiday program, the boxes, all the fixings, the cranberry sauce, stuffing, cans of corn, green beans, the gravy, it's an interesting event to watch because it's all done assembly line fashion, and we have one of those old-fashioned conveyor belts from the old grocery stores. And you and a partner, you got your box, and you carry the box, and your partner fills it, and you just keep going round and round and round until the boxes are complete and they're packaged up and labeled. That takes a lot of people to fill 500 boxes, and that's one of the opportunities where some of the school groups come and help out. Stonington Crew is, and those kids are strong, which is really nice, that they can come and lift boxes. And then the volunteers also participate in driving once the boxes are packed, we have to deliver to a lot of the senior housing areas that these people don't drive. So another probably 100 or so are delivered. And then when the week of the holiday, you still have to pick it up. And so not everybody can get the turkey in the box to their car, whether it be a senior or a young mom with 2 kids and trying to juggle a turkey and a box of groceries and 2 kids at the same time. So we have volunteers around for that as well. Somebody brings donuts, and it's kind of a very festive time. For me, the first packaging of the boxes is like, okay, the holidays are upon us, and it gets to be fun.
We all look forward to it, and it really is a community event, though, because Packing Day is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and local families have known about this for 25 years. This is maybe more. This has been going on. So really, through word of mouth, you'll have, 200 people come with their kids. The only thing we ask is that children probably be about like 8 and older, because you really can't be a baby during this. But if you're 8 and older and you're with a parent and you have kids of all ages, and I remember a few families, they said, I was coming here with my mother or my father, and now I come. And it really makes everyone aware of how much we have and how great the need is, because a lot of people still don't realize that nearly 1,500 people come to our food pantry on a regular basis. And that number is shocking when we're talking about Stonington, North Stonington, and Westerly, because those tend to be areas where people think that possibly there aren't people who are hungry or who are food insecure. And unfortunately, we know by experience that that's not the case.
Absolutely, and again, it's people are working, but they may not be working. They may be underemployed. They may have had something, life-altering. These things happen to everyone at some point.
That's very true.
That Thanksgiving dinner, if you have to go buy it, you may not. But because we're able to provide it, and we do smaller things. I mean, some of the seniors can't necessarily cook a turkey, but you take account for that, and we may have alternatives. But it's definitely like the place is humming. You can just feel it.
It really is. And so speaking, it's hard to believe that we're talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, but in the middle of November is when we start to get our donor angels. And our donor angels are people in the community who want to buy a gift for a child that would like one. And so what we do is we ask our clients to make a wish list of what their child would like, and we don't guarantee that they will get every single gift that they've written down, but through experience, I think we can say that people are very, very generous in our community. And so the toys are picked up in red and green Santa bags that are huge, brimming, and so that's another thing that's happening all at once. We're kind of ending Thanksgiving and we're beginning Christmas, and it's quite an amazing show of generosity by our community.
We have one donor angel family. They're 2 boys, and the mom and the dad, they love to go shopping for little girls. So whenever they'll request like a 6 and a 7-year-old little girl, because they've only, not that they don't love their boys, but they've never had the opportunity to go shopping for girls. And if you ever saw that room, it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, our clients are very happy. It's Christmas, the kids are thrilled, and our community is being allowed to give back, and that's just as important as a child receiving the gift.
Right. So we talked about some events that are coming up soon at the PNC, as well as the holidays. Do we have any other regional events? Or?
On October 17th, the local senior centers get together, and this year it's going to be held at Langley's, and it's called the Corvettes Do-Up Review, and they've always put on a great event. It's Thursday, October 17th at 7 to 10, and at Langley's is the food has always been very good when I've been there, and they're going to give it some time to do some dancing, and there's some raffles, and it's just a nice night to be able to see some of the other senior centers, and we've met people over the years at other events, and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing, kind of thing.
So if you've never been to a senior center, this is a chance to go to this regional event, and there will be representatives from all of the local senior centers in the area, as well as other people who attend those centers. And if you've heard anything that you might be interested in as far as volunteering at the PNC, or taking an exercise class, joining writing or painting, coming to lunch, or even if you have an interest in teaching a class, or a lot of people tell me they like to play certain card games, and you need other people to do that.
Right.
So this is a chance to kind of explore that. Our website is, there's ping pong. Yeah, that's going on too. We didn't mention that. Gardening, we didn't mention we have a garden.
We missed a couple things. We have a very extensive garden.
We do. That's and there's the food pantry, so you can see. And there's the breakfast. We actually have a monthly community breakfast where that's the Lions volunteering, but there are things going inside and outside, right? I mean, the garden's amazing, and that we could talk about that for a whole show, actually. Right. But if you've heard anything that is of interest to you, we would encourage you to come on our website. We're also on Facebook, or stop by 27 Chase Street in Pawcatuck, and come and join us and see how you can enjoy yourself and also give back to the community. Thanks for being here, Barbara.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.